What is going on, guys? TKD 1, 2, 3 video, and today we're talking about a new album that dropped this week, Christmas week. So first off, I am recording this the day after Christmas. I hope you all had a nice festive holiday. I hope it was great with family and stuff like that, all that good stuff. I hope you had a great holiday season overall. But to get into the nitty-gritty of this, we are here reviewing the Travis Scott and Quavo project, titled, oddly enough, Jack Huncho Jack, however you want to say that. And it was a surprise drop. We got about like a 12-hour notice. I think it was last Thursday, and it dropped on Friday, stuff like that. So definitely in time for the holidays, a nice little, you know, like a little stocking stuffer, a little present, you know what I'm saying? And because, you know, I'm calling it a stocking stuffer, it is a little bit shorter on that range. It's not full-on album, it's not full-on gift, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's a little stocking stuffer. It is 13 songs, and I think around 42 minutes long. So again, this is a very, very short project. But, you know, I always like to at least comment on, you know, after when I'm done doing my first playthrough, about how long it felt. And to me, it felt really long. I don't know why. I think I'm presuming that maybe the middle section of this project is a little bit on like the kind of lukewarm side. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to grab at here at the end of the review. But, you know, overall, for the most part, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people definitely kind of, you know, push this project aside and not really, you know, are vibing with it, not enjoying with it. Like, a lot of people are really, you know, talking about how this project is not that good and everything, and they would rather have Astro Worlds, you know what I'm saying, from Travis Scott rather than this. But, you know, overall, at least, you know, at least for what it is, right? It's Travis Scott and Quavo, and them both together make Jack Huncho, which is, you know, very much in the same vein as 2088 with Big Sean and Jhené Aiko, how they have their duo name, you know what I'm saying, which is 2088, and now Travis Scott and Quavo have their own duo name, which is Jack Huncho, which is also a good, you know, not just a interesting tidbit to add about, you know, kind of Quavo seemingly, like, you know, branching off into his own thing and doing a lot of things by himself. And of course we have a lot of the Migos that they go and they, you know, go on different artists and stuff like that, and they don't really have, you know, like, not all the time, they're not always the Migos. Like, sometimes it'll be featuring Takeoff, it'll be featuring Offset, it'll feature Quavo and stuff like that. So, you know, there is something that's been going on for a long time. But I was interesting here how, you know, Quavo now just straight up has a duo with Travis Scott as well. But going into the actual, you know, project, I don't think it's really that bad. Like, a lot of people are, you know, calling it mundane, boring. Now, I definitely see why they think it's mundane and why, you know, one would take it as a mundane. But I feel like a lot of the comments here on this project are a little bit hyperbolic, in my opinion. I don't think it's nearly as bad as what a lot of people are saying about the album, and that's, of course, just me. You know, I don't know, maybe, you know, I might change my opinion on this towards the end of the week. But overall, you know, me, you know, just going into this project, obviously I have a clear bias, okay? Obviously, you all know I love Travis Scott. You guys know he was my 2016 album of the year with Birds and the Trap Scene McKnight, and I will be making a little, you know, album of the year 2017 video, and I'm pretty sure you all can tell what it is. I'm pretty sure you all can predict what it is if you follow me throughout the channel and stuff like that. But I'll probably be putting that out actually maybe before this review. So if it's not already up, go check it out. If it's not up yet, it'll be up soon. But you know, just overall, I have a bias with Travis Scott. That's pretty obvious there. But with, you know, honestly, with Migos as well, and, you know, obviously it's not the full Migos, it's Quavo, but still, you know, just having a little bit of inkling of Migos, you know, is always a sweet spot for me. And so I'm enjoying this album so far. I'm enjoying this project. You know, I'm not really finding it to be that boring, that mundane. Again, there is that middle section that I will have to go back again and be a little bit more attentive to as to what parts, you know, I'm really not vibing with or not really, you know, care about, honestly, or just parts that are a little bit just not, you know, just not really that, just any parts that don't add to the overall, you know, kind of project, if you will, in a more serious way, like in a more impactful way, you know what I'm saying? So definitely gonna be going back and looking at that. But you know, I don't think I'll really end up with the conclusion of what a lot of people are drawing to this weekend, which was that, you know, they think this is trash, they think it's whatever. Like me, I love songs like Eye to Eye. Best Man is definitely a different song. Best Man, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on, but that's the outro track, and that track definitely sounds a lot different than what you would expect from Travis and Quavo. Definitely interesting sound. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the just a different sound that they want to portray and stuff like that. But overall, that was part 1 of Huncho Jack, and we will be back here with either part 2 or part 3. I think this warrants a part 2. I think we'll do a part 2 this week. We'll see. If not, then you'll see me on my desk, and we'll talk later. What is going on, guys? This is part 2 of the Huncho Jack review, and that was a nice rhyme there. But beside the point here, I've spent a lot of time with this album. A lot of time, boys. This is maybe my 6th or 7th playthrough of the album, so I feel like I have a very, very nice grasp of this project and everything. And something that I want to kind of confirm that I kind of suspected in my first review, and that is that, this really does feel long. Like, yeah, it is 42 minutes. It is only like, a handful of tracks. I think like 10 or 13, something like that. I think 13 tracks. But, it does feel like a full-length album, and that is something that I wasn't expecting, and that's even crazy to hear, because we've had albums that were 55 minutes long, or even just longer in general than this one, and feel a lot shorter than this one here. And this one is just barely over half an hour, and it sounds great. It sounds long. It sounds nice, full. I don't feel like I'm just wanting more out of what was given and everything. And another thing I would say also that I want to touch back on here is that I feel like a lot of people are really not giving this project, I think it's honest chance, maybe, or maybe it's my bias with loving Quavo and loving Migos and loving Travis Scott. Maybe that could be a thing, but I am really, really, really surprised about this album, yo. Like, it is really good, you guys. Like, it is great, man. I do not understand how you could think this album is trash or think it's garbage. Like, I think it's absolutely, it is really, really top tier stuff, man. Okay, well, to be fair, obviously, if you look at Birds, which I think Birds is like near perfection, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at Birds versus, this album, obviously, there's that comparison where it's like, yeah, okay. So I guess if people are comparing between like the studio albums like Birds and Culture to this album, I definitely understand why you could think like this one is, not up to par, obviously. But for what it is, for being, so short, and for being what it is, it is great. I feel it's great. And just to touch on some more things here that just come to mind here. Best Man. I mentioned it in the first part. I wanted to touch on it a little bit more here. Now, what they did with Best Man, it almost feels like an R&B song. It's not, right? There is, just still that same style of Travis Scott and Quavo that they've had throughout this whole entire project here. But, there's something about Best Man that kind of blurs that line. It like almost blurs the line to where it could be construed as an R&B song. Like it really could. And, if there wasn't, certain things in the song, like with it being, just a nice, kind of semi-aggressive beat, whatever. Like, if they were to just take that out and put something else in there, it could really just end up being an R&B song. And I thought that was a very, very interesting move that they did to put on a song like this, and it being the outro as well. I like also in that song where I believe it was Quavo, obviously it was Quavo, he mentioned something about having like the Migos blood, something like that. Like, I thought it was a great song overall. I feel like it's a great outro as well. Like, that's really, really a great outro, honestly. And overall, I am loving, this project the more and more I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And like, usually a lot of times I'll kind of get the gist of the album and just kind of be listening to it just to confirm my, statements on it and confirm how I feel about the album. And then I'll go into review and just, record it and not really think it's any better than I, thought it was or whatever. But here with this project, it is really growing on me. Like, I am really, really enjoying it. I think it's great, and I'm going to probably record my last part tomorrow and really put it up tomorrow, I think. But you know, just overall, I feel like I'm going to truly enjoy this. And you know what? I say it is a great, you know, end review, a really end project for 2017. Honestly, man, like, you know, we are at the end of the year. This is going to be my last review of the year. Will, you know, I'm sure have it up right before the end of the year and stuff like that. And I am pleasantly surprised. I'm really excited about this project. I'm really happy we got it and everything. And, you know, I'd say, you know, obviously this isn't the last final thoughts of it, and I'm going to touch on a little bit more things in the last part 3 of this review. But, you know, just as a quick, you know, kind of recommendation thing, I really do truly think that you should be listening to this project. You know, if you love Quavo, if you love Travis Scott, if you know, are familiar with those two, if you love them too, and having them create Jack Huncho, you know, the duality of the two, as, you know, what we call it, which we've discussed in the part 1. But, you know, having this be a thing is absolutely great, I feel. So definitely feel like you should be listening to it if you have not. Definitely will be a nice way to end your 2017. And I will catch you all in the part 3 of this review. All right, what is going on, people? It is part 3 of the Huncho Jack review here. And, you know, overall, I have listened to this album a ton. You guys have seen me in my part 1 and part 2. You guys understand that I definitely do have, you know, a definite growth in appreciation for this project, right? Like a lot of people, at least I heard, you know, when they listened to it during the first few days of its release and stuff like that. I didn't get to it until a few days after that. But, you know, a lot of people were saying that it's kind of whack, kind of boring, whatever. And even so to this day, people still have that testament where they think that, you know, this project wasn't really that great, whatever. I 100%, you know, disagree. And in terms of features, obviously there's only 2 of them. It's Offset and Takeoff. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only 2. The other members of Migos, whatever. And other than that, we just have Quavo and Travis Scott here on this. So, you know, there is an argument that can be made where, you know, this album or this project, I would say, whether sounds a little bit, you know, repetitive in the sense of like there's not really a stacked roster here. Now, of course, that can be said, but obviously, you know, it's a collab album. It's between those 2. You know, I don't know if it warrants any features, and, you know, I don't really think that's necessarily so much of an issue if there's no features on that. I do, you know, understand that some people might think it's repetitive in that manner, but at least for me, I found it fine just because I love Quavo and Travis Scott. How You Feel, Best Man, they're all great, and, you know, really just, you know, just me speaking from right now, you know, I think that the majority of the album is great. I think it's a really, really good project. I am really enjoying my time with it. I really did enjoy my time with it. It's an album that, you know, I feel I'm going to bump into 2018. And I also feel, you know, with this being, you know, kind of the last project I'll be touching on here, and there isn't really much I want to, you know, review this year. I did miss out on some albums. I did miss out on Lil Uzi Vert's and Sampha in the beginning of the year, way in the beginning of the year. But, you know, overall, you know, I would say I hit, you know, a lot of albums I wanted to hit and everything. And I really do, you know, appreciate that. Like, this is kind of like my last 2017 review. This is my like crescendo, my last review, because it definitely was a great send-off. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my thoughts here on Huncho Jack by Travis Scott and Quavo, aka Jack Huncho. Thank you all for watching. If you want to join me, leave a like, subscribe, and below. And I appreciate all the feedback you guys give me. Thanks guys for watching, and as always, I got you.